Alright, we interrupt this series of Civil 3D videos where we just left off with breaking a corridor up into subregions to remind you why grip editing is important. And we'll do that, just give you the review, why we're starting to learn to do things by grip edit, retraining our regular drafting skills, is because of how much grip edits have proliferated within all of Civil AutoCAD software. Or really, if you look around at Microsoft's 3D editor or 3D drafting program or SketchUp, there's a lot of use of this idea of grip edits in any kind of 3D animation or the 3D visualization world. So let me bring up that last drawing. We won't do much to it. We'll save out. We'll bring that up to where we are. Again, we've got to get those shape files figured out, those font files, and we're back to the point where we have our overall view. And I'm going to hit V for view here and go to overall set current, and I'm going to just kind of put myself, I'm going to add one more viewport, even though it'll be hard to see viewports. We're going to go with 2 vertical this time. Okay. And I'm now going to go over here and just see if I can use my steering wheel here. Let's see if it'll work for us. We're going to orbit. Just turn that around. Oh, see, there we are. It's kind of, and this is the first chance we get to see, I think, when we get into the 3D world here, the difference between what's being done on the flat world and then what's being done up above. And I'm going to now try if I can see if I can pan this. Pan it. I'm holding it down, panning it. So we'll kind of leave it at that. Alright, so we have 2D world, 3D world. And just to review, let me go ahead, now that we've got these, basically this is a 3D world as well, but this is actually seeing it from above, or from a kind of an isometric view. I'm going to caution you, many of you, against getting too used to just using these views until you understand what they're doing with your user coordinate system. So we'll see how that goes. I have had and it may be just a setting thing, some issue if you're trying to use coordinate systems and these views, in that it go ahead and each one of these goes ahead and changes your coordinate system as you switch the view. So that said, let's look at a couple things. First, those of you who are downloading software from the Civil3d AutoCAD Students Community site, which is freely available to anyone with an EDU address or anyone who wants to contact an instructor who will kind of suss that they are not doing professional work with it, just trying to learn and make this world more competitive, make it more sustainable, make it more efficient. Realize that if you have Civil 3D running, you actually have a fully functioning AutoCAD and an AutoCAD map functioning underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you that by switching now to what would appear to be a 2D world. It's not. The only thing that's 2D in this case is the interface. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a line. We're going to do just a quick review for some of you of how to draft and use extrude and the like. So right around here, I'm going to draw a circle. And I'm going to draft a circle because it's the easiest thing to extrude by center radius. And I'm going to use shift right click, point filters the dot XY of that, and shift right click, point filters the dot Z of the center. And I think those of you who now figured out by now, let's see if it'll find that, the center of that. Try it again. Shift right click, point filters dot XY of that. Click over here, shift right click, point filters the dot Z of the shift right click, the endpoint of that. Alright, so now I got a circle that's up in elevation. I'm going to draft it here. I'm going to look here and see where it is. Oh, there it is. I wasn't near that. So there's my circle. Alright, so I'm going to now just use extrude. Okay, command is a circle. The next command generally would be to say region, so I'll do that. region. Grab that, makes it a region. And now I'm going to say extrude. Grab my object. And I can click over here and you can start to see how you can start controlling different things. Now, if I click on that, you see now the grips are available. So I can kind of shift that up, make it taller, make it lower. And let me just see if I can do that with the visual styles set to conceptual. So visual styles. We're going to go ahead and probably take down the computer. See what it did for me. Did not like that. F2 turns that off. Oh, there it is. There's my visual styles. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, close that up. Once again, just show you hitting escape. Now as I click on that, you've got some real potential there in the grip editing. One of the more interesting things is that it changes that coordinate, more or less, that it's not actually the coordinate system, but it is changing that, kind of showing you where you're grabbing. So I've left clicked, so I've grip snapped, I've left clicked again. Now I can spacebar, rotate. Now these are 2D commands, unfortunately, when you get to this point. Scale, mirror, and maybe we're going to mirror about that point. And who knows what it did. Alright, so that's the grip edit. It's one of the things showing you why you go about and do grip edits. You can see this computer's working very slow, so I'm going to go back and say Viewports, back to single. It usually will ask you what is going to be your predominant one. We're going to click over here. It should bring us back to a point there. And there we have it. Kind of grabbed the wrong one. One more reason now to learn how to use a view. V for view. Hitting escape key here. V for view. Overall, set current. Okay. That pops right down to where we are. So I'm going to zoom in here just once again to review the grip edit. I'm going to just draw a rectangle here, which makes a polygon, right? We learned to snap on something. That's our select. We can really sometimes turn off that quick property if it's getting in the way. And then we left click on our base point and we can space bar through till we get to the point what we want to do and move it to where we want to go. We can also, when we get on there, we can, instead of left clicking, we can hold our mouse down and shift. Hold our mouse down and move the size of it. And of course we've seen that already with the command field. So let's try to end up with that as a quick review of some of the skills that you're going to bring from AutoCAD and adjust from AutoCAD into Civil 3D. Field is the command. We kind of want to grab an object. Grab the object we're thinking about. Well, look at all the different stuff. One thing we have is its elevation. We can go ahead. It's probably going to be pretty huge when I bring it in. Up or pretty small, so it's giving me that elevation is 0 on that thing. Well, that sounds about right. Let me go ahead and left click, space bar, move. I can just say at 0, 0, that didn't work. One more time. I'm going to left click, space bar, move at 0, 0, 1000. Regen. It's regenerating the model, and now when we look into there, it listed 1000 as my elevation. So you start to see just a real bad basic review of why we start to use grip snaps. Here in this case I show it to you because you can change your corridor just by grabbing and pulling the grip snap on the corridor eventually. You can click on this and shift the two of them. You've got to shift two ends, and you'll be able to shift the corridor using those grip snaps. Not doing a great job there, but I'll still put it. Thanks for listening. Bye.